Bam, we're live. I just looked at one of the comments. He was big mad at Sevon. I don't even know what that's about. I'm gonna try not to read the comments right for a little bit because there's so much fucking going on. I'm like so fucking stimulated. I'm like one of those cats you just scratch so much and like it starts just biting you. I'm just like, oh, I'm so stimulated. Like my heart's beating out of my chest. I mean, it's in a good way. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think of like, let's say, you know, when you're driving to, you know, Great America, Sousa. Hi, Sousa. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
And do you remember going there as a kid? Great America is like our Disneyland, but up north, Great America Parkway. I don't even know if it's called that anymore.
I think it's like a Six Flags property now.
Oh yeah. It was called, oh, my headphones on. It was called like Marriott's Great America. And I would, and as the car would pull up, I would just, it's crazy how stimulated I'd be. I'd be in the parking lot and I would just be overwhelmed, but in a good way. Like just like I want to ride all the rides at once. I have like 7 fucking pages of notes. Do you know, Tommy and Shawnee did a podcast on our podcast, but didn't mention our names. They did 50 minutes and someone sent it to me last night at 9:00. Please do not do that to me. And I was like biting my arm while I was listening to it and making cat sounds. It was fucking amazing.
Like, how do you know it was about us if they didn't mention it or about the pod?
That's a great question. Because I'm a self-righteous, arrogant, narcissistic douche. I mean, like, what do you mean? What other reason is there?
Well, I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I guess we're 2 peas in a pod, huh?
They did 50 fucking minutes. It was amazing. I want to tell you guys something. Right off the bat, some important things, and then we'll just start digging in. I want to. There's 2 things I want to tell you. One, you have. I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't bet my kid's life on it or anything like that. But I'm telling you that Eric Roza was driven out. Now I've heard it from multiple executives. There was a clear momentum and push to drive him out. He is gone. Those who think that the chairman, those of you who Googled the definition of chairman of the board.
It was a promotion, Sam, on a promotion.
Oh my God.
It was a promotion. And it's so obvious because
how much does Weinstein
CEO?
Yeah. So that there is no truth to what any of those guys are saying. You have to know that or not. Like, I don't care, but they have no intel. Like, they're watching what's happening from the outside. They're seeing someone, there's accurate in their description by seeing someone turn red while they're choking on a pretzel and then saying that person is sunburnt. I mean, they're just so fucking off. Like, they Googled your skin is red and they're like, oh, the person's sunburnt. Don't worry. Meanwhile, the person's dead. I mean, they are not using. They have no intel. They're being force fed by they. I mean, Tommy, Sean, LaFranco, the make memes guy, great again. They're being force fed a narrative from HQ, and they're. I don't even know. You guys know we only have 10,000 subscribers, and our Instagram account only has 4,000.
11,500. Don't sell us short.
Sorry. You guys are like so much bigger than us. Just stay away. Go do your other stuff. And I mean this with the utmost sincerity, especially to Shawnee and Tommy. Every time you, and I will reiterate this too as we go on the show, every time you come out of your lane of commentating from out of the games and like just talking about the athletes and like, hello, Emma McQuaid, how are you today? You did what a fantastic job you did at Wadapalooza. Every time you swerve into our lane, oh shit, I am in big trouble.
We don't have the number up.
Oh no, I'm in big trouble.
Why?
I'm sorry. It's just your podcast, dude. It got me just so revved up. I don't want to fight with you, Shawnee. Shawnee? Are you there? Shawnee?
Hey.
Hi, Shawnee.
Who's Sean? Hey, no. This ain't no Sean.
Oh.
First of all, listen up here.
I was stressing. I thought it was Shawnee calling.
Oh, no. Hey, no. Calm down here. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
You want it Colton on? he can't come today. He's got shit to do. All right.
Oh,
Listen
Mr.
here.
Mertens. Mr. Mertens. Nice for you to call the show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Colton Mertens' dad. This is a first time for him on the show.
My name's Dick. Damn it, my name's Dick. Get it right. We fucking talked before.
Sorry. No, well, we haven't actually talked. We've DM'd you. You've slid into my DMs, Dick. But Dick Mertens here. How's the boy doing, buddy? How's the boy doing? All of a sudden now he's winning. All of a sudden now he shows promise, and you want to get in on some of that prize money, huh? Huh, Dick?
The Venmo request is another matter. I just wanted to call in. I heard this guy Sean say this is the place to go if you're an angry white man. I'm walking 16,000 hogs a day, and my boy's out there lifting fucking replicas of rocks. I've had it. It's gonna be a real while, all right? Colton got some shit to catch up on, so just saying that the Venmo thing might help a little bit, but there's only so much a man can take.
I understand. Dick, how is Colton? We haven't had him on the show in a while. He did great at Wadapalooza. How is he doing? How's his day to day? Are you being nicer to him? Do you think you love him more now that your son's showing promise?
Well, no.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't love my son. I tolerate him. First of all, and then second of all, he's following this fucking Liver King guy, and now he doesn't even cook his pigs. He just takes the pigs because of this fucking Liver King guy. I lost 7 pigs, and he just eats them alive. What the?
That is a problem.
From San Francisco shit over here.
All kidding aside, that's a serious problem. A guy gets into the Liver King stuff, and then he can't be really left alone with the pig anymore.
Well, shit. Oh, there's other reasons for that, but I'm worried about trichinosis.
All right.
Anyway, I'm gonna go be mad. I'm gonna go be mad with this other white character, Sean. He looks like a stock photo of an angry white man, for God's sake.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Dick. Thank you. Wow, this show is fucking amazing. For Colton Mertens' dad, we rock the house. Okay. So I didn't want to bring this up, but Dick Mertens brought it up. Is that really his dad's name? Dick Mertens.
I have no idea.
Fucking amazing.
I don't know what's happening.
I wish I could. I want to find this thing. Someone sent me a screenshot. Maybe I can't. Maybe I don't have it on my computer. I'll tell you what Dick Mertens was referring to. Someone sent me a screenshot, and it's the make. It's like a baby wearing glasses, and it says "Make WODs great again," and it's all one word. I'm assuming this is either from Twitter or Instagram. I don't know why the fuck I can't tell the difference, but it says So they're talking about the Sevon podcast says that I spent the last 2 years hiding in my basement from the pandemic. It's not true. So he's saying that comment I made is not true. And okay, that's fine. I do want to know this though.
It's satire.
I do want to know this. Is any of it true? Did you spend any time in your basement, like a week or a day? Just be cool. Let's have fun. We are on the same team.
Just be cool.
Yeah, we are on the same team. So I don't know why. So these guys, this guy and Shawnee and Tommy have come out and like are pretty wound up. But he says it's not true. I've been employed and working for a living the whole time. He should try it. I don't know what employed and working have to do with hiding in his basement. I'm hiding in my office, and
maybe his office is down in the basement.
Right. But I know but anyway, this part is actually serious. I want you guys to listen to this. So there's this thing called critical race theory. You guys hear about it a lot. Thank you, Susan. And basically the premise of this critical race theory is when you see everything through the view of race. And so you guys have all met women like that too, or men like that, or gay people like that, or or they're not even gay, or they're not even women, but they view everything through the fact of sex, man and women. So like you'll be with I made a film with this woman one time, and anything I said, it turned into a woman-man issue. So I'd be like, hey, do you want me to check into the hotel, or do you want to check into the hotel and I'll grab the luggage? And she'd be like, just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I can't carry my own luggage. And I'm like, wow, how did she jump to that? Like, I was just trying to be efficient. And so there's, people see things through that lens. So critical race, and that's because they have some hang up. They're trapped in their head and they have some hang up. Critical race theory is when you see everything through color. So I would say to the someone, a barista, let's say, would explain to me about how a coffee is made, and I've heard it 10 times before, and this is the first time I understand it, and I'd be like, wow, that was crazy articulate on your part. And someone who's like a critical race theorist person, let's say Souza was with me and he was a critical race person, he would say to me, that was really racist that you said that to an Asian person. And I would go, why? And he would be like, well, because the implication is that Asian people aren't able to articulate. And I would be like, okay. And I didn't even notice the person was Asian. Like it's just completely him. Though at the essence of those is that woman is sexist and that Matt Souza is racist. Sorry, I'll use someone else's name, not Matt Souza, Matt Johnson. And because he's projecting the fact that person was Chinese, and that because of their Chinese, and I called them articulate, I'm being racist because they think that I was implying that Chinese people can't be articulate. Basically, you're outing yourself as a sexist or a racist at that point. You outed yourself. And that's what all the BLM people are, and that's what all the critical race people, they are keeping racism alive. They out themselves. So that's what's fascinating about this. So I don't know who he's fighting with, but all of a sudden, out of the blue, he says the Make Great Again guy says, oh, is this guy Trump? Is that a Trump? Is he a Trumper? This guy? Anyway, I don't think it would be weird if he was. He says, that's usually what happens at rallies. Angry white dudes aren't really my audience. That usually isn't what happens. Angry chinks aren't really my audience. That's usually what happens. Angry spicks aren't usually my audience. You guys get what I'm doing here? He's a racist. It doesn't matter what word you put in there. He outed himself because he jumps by labeling a whole demographic by color. I mean, this is like museum specimen quality of what racism looks like. This is it. This is not only the creator of racism, but this is the nurturer of racism. This is the essence of racism. This is what maintains it. This is at the bedrock of racism. This is how racism works. And it's fascinating. I wish I could tell you guys where this is so you could go look at it and study it. I mean, this could be in a fucking college course. A bunch of small examples like that. You can't, if you're a boob man, you're gonna miss a ton of great asses. If you're a thief and you only steal purses, you're gonna miss a ton of fucking wallets. I mean, do you get what I'm saying? Like they're
we always view things from the lens that we're looking through it, right?
Yeah. So. Sevon, you nailed it. Thank you. Brian, if you weren't, there's a great your mom joke there too. I mean, not I wouldn't say it to you, but like, yeah, I nailed your mom too. But not you, Brian. But I'm just saying. I just like the word nail. One of those words that has texture, context. Okay, so the title of this podcast is it's not up here. The title of this podcast. So we use the because I don't want it to be clickbait. I need to make sure what I said.
Oh yeah, heaven forbid.
We said that it's and to go back to the angry thing, I'm jumping to the end of the punchline, page 7 of my notes. But Tommy and Sean keep saying they reference me, maybe you too, Souza, as angry and resentful, hateful and resentful. And then this guy saying angry white men. I know one of the premises, one of the new metrics for CrossFit is happiness. And so if you want to find some, like their expert on their DEI team or in their HR department, they're a happiness auditor, and they want to come spend a week with me and then a week with you guys, and you guys want to have a little competition, you guys can choose the happiness auditor, and we choose who's happier out of the 4 of us. I'd be willing to do a happiness competition. You guys can choose the CrossFit auditor. I'm sure they have someone there on the executive team. Oh, it makes me so happy you say that. I know that's what sucks about this show. This show is predicated on the facts. A lot of the show is going to be predicated on the fact that Tommy and Shawnee made all sorts of absurd and insane comments on their podcast. They're just basically rambling. They say stuff like this. And I've used this before to explain to you about this meme guy, about Andrew Weinstein. He's the PR guy over at CrossFit, about LaFranco and Tommy and Sean. They'll say to you, it's raining on Earth. And they think that's news. In this particular circumstance, and Matt and I don't do that. We start with it's raining on Earth, and then we tell you it's raining in San Jose, California, and it rained 1 inch, and it happened at 3:30 today, and we're predicting it's going to happen tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. And we give you details and some useful stuff and some facts. And then maybe we think, and that rain, then we're going to speculate is going to cause grass on these great green hills of San Jose, because we have a lot of rolling hills here, to sprout. And the scenery will go from brown to green in the next 3 days. That's the kind of shit you get from us. And I'm going to give you exact reference here. So there's this narrative coming out of HQ. And I have to emphasize, I've heard directly from multiple executives that Eric was pushed out. And I have more than just that data. But they say Tommy and Shawnee and the rest of these goofballs and the Weinsteins and LaFrancos are like, well, that was the plan anyway. When Roza came in, the plan was that he was going to leave. Oh, no shit. He wasn't going to stay there till he died. No shit. Good job, guys. I mean, do you see how that's nothing? Hey, it's my plan that I'm going to leave this office too someday. It's my plan. They say nothing, but I'll even be more specific about that. When I first met Eric and he came into CrossFit Inc., he said, hey, I don't want you guys to panic. I'm going to be here a long time. I was retired. I'm out of retirement, and I'm going to stay here a long time. And the investors are in no rush to make their money back. This is going to be a slow, really chill thing. Dude, he was fucking pushed out at a fucking 1.5 years because of many, many reasons. But there was a couple things that we still don't know yet. I don't know if it'll ever come out. But there were a couple things that happened towards the end here. We know definitely the Dave Castro thing is one of them. That made it so it had to happen immediately. So don't try to be like, well, there was a plan he was going to leave anyway. Well, I mean, you're saying nothing. No one in their right mind believes that. And so what you guys are doing is you're spending your fucking games commentating equity on saying stupid shit. And now people aren't going to like you for your games commentating. Just stop. Anytime your path intersects with mine, your value goes down. Do not unless you guys want to be friends. Unless you guys want to be friends. Unless you guys want to come out and like, hug it out. But until then, do not mention, for you guys, I mean it. Do not and don't do a podcast 15 minutes and talking shit about me and not mention my name, you goofballs.
At least some of them mention your name. I just get the other guy.
They're so ridiculous. Eric Roza was pushed out. He was inserted in the chairman of the board position to save face. To save face. In 12 months, he'll be fucking gone from there. Well, that's the high. I Googled that, and that's the highest position. I'm a teller at Bank of America, so I have a significant amount of information. And I've been handing out cash at Bank of America for 22 years. My 403,000 Instagram followers on Wad Smile Me Again, they know, and we've discussed, and we in consensus that being chairman of, dude.
And if you don't believe me, ask one of these other people that also agree with what I say,
dude.
Well, the thing is too, is like
I want those guys to do a live call-in show and see what happens to them.
People should really, really stop paying attention to what's being said and start paying attention to what's actually happening. There's two different things. Like I could say, hey, Sebon, good to see you, buddy. And then I could slap you in the face and go, we're the best of friends. And you're like, whoa, but he said good to see me. He said we're best of friends, but I got slapped in the face. That seems weird, right? So to say, hey,
what are you referencing? What is there something you're referencing specifically?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, give it to me.
So they say, hey, Rose is actually in a higher position. He wasn't fired. He was promoted, right? This was just accelerated. Well, then where's the new CEO?
Yes.
He's not going to be forward facing. He's going to have a different role, a larger role in the background. He hasn't been forward facing in the last year. Has anybody seen him inside an affiliate besides his own?
Hey, yesterday this executive told At CrossFit Inc., a fucking executive told their team. So someone on the team raised their hand and said, "Hey, who the fuck's running the company?"
That is $1 million question.
The executive goes, "Well, these group of people, and these group of people have been running it for the last 4 months, and everything's been fine. And the reason why they've been running the show for the last 4 months is because Eric's been out on leave for his depression." And I'm thinking to myself, no, Eric actually hasn't been out for the last 4 months on depression because he fired Dave last month.
Well, that's another thing, right?
Unless, do you think there's any chance that, like, do you think this is way out there?
Here we go.
I shouldn't even say it.
Let me find my tinfoil hat.
I'm just picturing Eric Roza just at home, fucking just totally bummed out, fucking, you know, sitting on his yoga mat, like going through whatever therapy he's doing to help himself. I'm sure he's not taking medication because he believes in anyway. So, do you think that he just picked up the phone and called Dave and fired him, and then it was like, oops, like he didn't even like.
Yeah, but Sevan, that was mutual.
Like, right, like a gun misfired in his pocket.
He doesn't. No. See, again, guys, we don't want to spread misinformation on here. Remember,
Matt O'Keefe, by the way, is coming in as CEO. Do not let anyone tell you different.
And
at the end of Sean's podcast, he goes, and you can take that Matt O'Keefe rumor and just throw it out the door. I interviewed him yesterday. You can just throw it out the door.
But also, too, we
I was serious when I said it at the beginning of the show yesterday. God, you guys are fucking tarded.
I actually said, wait, really? And then you said no. And we both laughed about it. Like, and here's the other thing too, right? It was mutual when Dave decided to depart from CrossFit, right?
Yes,
because
very mutual.
Here's the deal. They were
professional. It was mutual and professional.
Right. And they were already framing that up, and they were going to get ready with the PR like statement and stuff like that. But nobody's going to question that. Nobody's going to say, oh, well, you know, I don't think they're going to get ready to lie to us. I think that it was going to be mutual. And if it wasn't for the fact that Dave just has impeccable integrity, that he was like, it wasn't mutual. I'm just letting you guys know right now. And then the whole thing folded. So again, if we're not listening to what they're saying, but watching the actions that they are producing, you get two different storylines.
I love it. Well, yes. As many storylines as it takes for it to go away.
Exactly. Whatever we'll say to stay face in front of the community, and to the rest of their like to everybody else's defense here, it's in their best interest to keep everything together, because everything is that's their whole career and livelihood. So if everything starts to fall apart, I could see why they would get a little bit squirrely about it and want to keep that community together, because otherwise the whole thing kind of slowly dissipates and then they lose their job, right? Or whatever you want to call it, their platform, business.
Yeah, what is it? Hey, Darren, can you change your profile picture?
He looks like a vampire.
It's just too much for me. I like I don't know if I like this guy. Like we brawl a little bit in the comments. He's I can't, maybe he's like me. He's got you know what I mean? I mean, but then when I see you do like Darren,
no, I mean, I don't know Darren, and we've never had any interaction, but I like the fact that when people come back and they have their opinions and we could have discourse, right? Like, I'm not just gonna go, oh, well, I'm just not going to talk to you. I'll cancel you because you're just not agreeing with what I'm saying there. Right. Because within the discourse, within everybody's different opinions, with all that, we start to find clarity. And it's one of the things that we do in the staff at the gym all the time is, like, when I put out an idea or something, I'm like, okay, so let's poke some holes in this. What's wrong with it? Will this work? Well, it won't work. Even if you agree with it, let's play devil's advocate here, because without having those discussions, we're just all sitting here just saying, oh yeah, well, what do you think? Oh, you think that too? Okay, great. And you're never going to get to the bottom of anything. We're never going to advance or evolve.
You sound like an angry white man.
Damn it. I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on.
By the way, if Darren would have been a woman, that would have been sexist.
How do we know? How do we know he's not?
Good point. Fuck. Good point. Now I'm something else.
God, come on, Sevan.
Oh man. So I'm gonna just go over some of the stuff just for fun, shits and giggles. I forget the name of the show. I think it was like originally I had like I had like a page of notes, and I was going to talk about some things about Eric Roza.
Why did Roza get fired?
Yeah, some of the reasons why I thought he got fired. But and I was going to do that gently. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Everything I know, I can't just spew out. I cannot. I don't want to. It's not that I cannot. I don't want to. Everything I know, I don't want to say. I don't want to say it. But I'm going to tell you that I'm pretty sure that all of those guys are getting all of their notes. Basically, how I think it goes is it goes from a guy named Andrew Weinstein. He's a PR guy. He's Roza's crony. He goes everywhere Roza goes. He's inserted in like the executive team over there. He's all about damage control. He does not understand the community at all. He doesn't do CrossFit. He basically gives information to other people, and then that's all the stuff that's pushed out. That's why all of those emails being sent to affiliates and to the teams and the people at CrossFit HQ and all that stuff right now, that's why it's all just nonsense. We don't recognize it because that's not the way Greg Glassman talked to us. Greg Glassman would be like, let's talk about relative versus let's talk about relative statistics, and let's look at statins, and let's look at why statins don't work. I mean, and then we would get in and break it down and define words. Like he doesn't know who he's talking to. He doesn't know his audience. He doesn't realize that Greg fucking brainwashed us all, and we fucking all are now, we want to know what every word means. We actually give a fuck.
Right.
He's a what are those blue pills? He's a blue pill talking to a red pill community.
I don't know what the whole pill thing is.
I don't really know either, but it's a Matrix reference.
Oh. I don't watch very many movies.
To say, so these are some of the silly arguments I want you to know too. To say when I say Eric was driven out, and then they say, Tommy and Shawnee come back with, well, if you're going to be one of the, life must be really miserable to be one of those people that doesn't believe anything that's said. Well, life must be really horrible having a cohort of friends that lie to you, and you prefer lying over the truth. Like, it's not that I don't believe anything that's being said. You're being lied to. I have 10 other references that say otherwise that aren't Andrew Weinstein and didn't come in an email from HQ. Like,
I actually agree with Tommy and Sean on that point. Ignorance is bliss.
Right. But like, right. But at the end of the day, like, I don't care. But here's the part that Tommy and Shawnee and Craig Ritchie and the memes guy don't understand. And that's why they say, calm down, everything's going to be okay. Don't go the doomsday route. First of all, we're not going the doomsday route. First of all, everything is more than okay. We're in the same boat that you guys are. This is just fun. This is like fucking juggling balls. But do you know who it's not fun for, Tommy and Shawnee? Do you know who it's not fun for to calm down, Craig Ritchie? The 10,000 affiliates out there who spent every single fucking penny of their life savings to get their gym open and have to put food on their dinner table. That's who it's not. Calm down. Everything is okay. Don't worry. It's just another thing. It's really easy for you guys to say. How about the 10,000 fucking affiliates out there that just want a little stability? Just a tiny, tiny bit. How about them? You're so myopic. You're so in a, like, it's all about you guys. Everything's fine. Calm down. No, it's not fine. They're fucking running a business in fucking in New York City that's been shut down for the fucking last year and a half, 2 years. They can't get a fucking bit of help from fucking HQ. That's not true. They can't get much help from HQ. Life is fucking hard. They're under a ton of pressure, and the leadership is changing fucking like whack-a-mole.
What leadership?
Yeah. They have no fucking idea. I mean, so stop like, first of all, I don't care. Like, it's not doomsday to me.
Right.
But have some consideration for the fucking affiliates. You guys, like, we know what happens to you, Shawnee. CrossFit goes under and you fucking commentate fucking boulder climbing the rest of your life. It's cool. We're stoked for you. CrossFit goes down, no big deal to me. I got a fucking gym in my garage. I'm balling. Yeah. Armageddon happens. What do I care? I got fucking solar batteries and a fucking well water. But how about the other people, guys? Shawnee, Tommy, Richie, Weinschnitzel, LaFranco. God, LaFranco. I more and more I'm hearing about how desperate you are to sell Morning Chalk Up. I have to tell you, I would be really, part of me would be excited if you sold it for you, because that, I mean, selling it for $1 million, that'd be really cool. But another part would be, it would be like, I'd be so bummed. You're so fun. You're so fun. So it's just argumentative fallacy to jump from the fact that we're doomsday, from like, we're pointing out like, hey, look, there's a dead dog in the street. And you're like, you're so doomsday. It's a dog in transition. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Fucking, I mean, don't go on the attack of us. Just chill. Just chill. Just be like, hey, I don't get what Sevon's saying, and use my name. I don't get what Sevon's saying. This guy got this guy's chairman of the board. That doesn't make sense. I Googled that, and that's higher. That's like the main guy. I wonder what he knows. Not he's wrong and that he's spreading misinformation. No, you're wrong and you're spreading misinformation.
It's all misinformation. A couple of comments.
And we want to talk about you want to talk about happiness. You're the one who runs around in fucking HQ telling people to pull their mask up, Shawnee. You're the mask Nazi. I don't give a fuck who wears a mask or don't wears a mask. Just don't talk to me about it. You scared little pussy. Okay, and it's more than scared. I'm being bravado. It's that you're just not thinking logically. There's no effectiveness of masks.
No extreme name calling.
Okay, sorry.
Those guys are all right. Those guys are all right. They're just doing their job. We're doing ours. Everybody's playing a part. I just want to address a couple comments here because there's a couple people that were like, how many affiliates have you actually talked to about this? Can you speak for the affiliates? I owned a box and the best I got from HQ pre-sale is a Christmas card. And here's the deal. No, what you got was Greg Glassman working behind the scenes tirelessly to make sure that what you are doing in your gym and what your L1 trainers are doing in your gym stays legal. You guys don't realize that with that NSCA case, if they would have had their way, what they would have done is they would have tried to take back their market share and said, hey, all of you L1 trainers can no longer do your job unless you come through our certification course and pay us. And then we could be the governing body of who's training and who's not. So what you have to realize is that not only was there a methodology and a vision and direction laid out for the affiliates, but as you were paying into that, you were paying somebody who was protecting that and who was protecting the message at all costs. And that's what you were buying into. So now the question you have to ask yourself as an affiliate owner, and like we had talked about on average, and it would actually be cool to get the real statistics on this about what the mean or average is from all the affiliate owners' profit each month, profit, not net, but profit, and saying, are you still willing to give up a month of that or 2 months of that to buy in to CrossFit and then what it is that you are paying for? And all these people saying, hey, people are still going to come into my gym and work out and all that, and then none of this really matters to them. Yeah, okay, I get that, but it's not the member's job to worry about this. It is you, the business owner. It is you, the affiliate, to say, hey, what's going on? Where's our leadership? Where is this whole thing going? And what's the value proposition for me to continue to buy into this with you? Because once that starts to tank, and affiliate owners aren't buying into it, what then happens to the brand name? Is it commoditized? Do we have jump ropes and everything else? And is it just another one of those? Or where is the whole thing going? And that's the most important message on this. It's not doomsday and this whole thing is going crazy, but people need to pay attention to that. Okay. And that is why it is important to affiliate owners. And so just like that, I'm going to flip it back. And if you don't own an affiliate, then stay in your lane.
Craig Howard was on the Khaleesi interviewed Craig Howard and the meme guy yesterday. And there was a fucking line in there that Craig Howard nailed. I think the Khaleesi asked him, it's a morning chocolate video. I didn't get to watch the whole thing because it was getting too late and I was getting overstimulated, but I was biting my arm and leg but basically she said, hey, why are you what do you want from HQ? And Craig Howard said, from HQ, I just want them to protect the name and make good media. It was something like that. And I was like, holy shit, he nailed it. Yes, just don't fuck the name up.
That's right.
Just don't. And that's why people got so mad at Greg, right? He made this Floyd 19 comment up and people turned on the gyms. Mm-hmm. So Greg was in his castle. He yelled something and then the zombies came and attacked the gyms because they thought that those were extensions of Greg, right? Well, they were. So all they want from HQ now is like, hey, just protect the name, meaning you don't have to do anything fucking crazy. and then just make some content that drives people to my gym. And that's
media.
And yes, and that's what I was driving home yesterday. Just make fucking amazing content that will attract the people. Like HQ has to do that. They have to make the amazing content that will attract the people they want to the gyms. So Craig Howard actually told me this story. This is many years ago. I don't know if he remembers this. He told this story many years ago, but we started making content of people in 2018. Greg started telling us, hey, make content of really, really fucking out of shape people doing CrossFit. It was a big turn. So we started making videos of like people who were over 100 pounds overweight doing CrossFit. And we started doing pieces on those people going to the L1. The L1 is the manual for the operating system for the human genome. And Craig Howard said, holy shit, after you started making those videos, someone came into my gym. And they were over 100 pounds overweight, and they got in the fucking prone position, which is laying on the ground, and they couldn't get up. So one of my trainers came over and coached them on how to stand. That was from a video and content HQ is putting out. So HQ, if you want more black people in the gym, make content that attracts more black people. If you want more dudes who have had their penises removed and turned into vaginas, make more content that attracts those people. Whatever you want. I don't have an issue with it. Just stop doing it in the method that society is telling you to do it through these fucking lenses of racism, sexism, and homophobia. Like, don't go that route.
Just tell the stories of the
people. And you know what? Maybe I judge Gary Gaines too harsh because Gary Gaines goes, our actions are going to speak louder than our words. Well, good. Then start making that fucking content. One a week. We used to fucking do it. It's so powerful. Someone can call me from fucking HQ and I'll fucking walk you through it and I'll fucking never mention a fucking word that we talked. I was there from fucking 300 gyms to 15,000 gyms. When I finished, I was in charge of everything that was forward facing. You do not want fucking Justin Berg being in charge of anything forward facing. Do you know why Justin Berg stayed with the company? Because of fucking Dave. You think anyone at fucking HQ liked him? He's a fucking...
And people should really go back and watch all that old content because if they
want someone... Go ahead.
I was going to say, if they just want to claim that it was skewed one way or another, they want to view through the lens of race or gender or sex or whatever it is, go back and watch that content because 6 years ago, 7 years ago, you were capturing everybody's story. It did not matter. And it already shows, it's documented, it's on there way before this shit became the hot ticket item too, by the way. Way before. And so it's documented, it's there. And here's the thing, if people did a little bit of this research, a little bit of critical thinking, a little bit of stopping, and before formulating a response, just give yourself some space. Give yourself some space to sit there. Think about it. Think about your motives. Why are you going to argue back? What is your intention here? And just sit with it for a moment and then continue to dig in before you respond. And I think you'd be surprised at how it might change a little bit. But if you always want to jump on it, whoa, hold on, whoa. There's no space there. There's no space for you to change your mind. There's no space for you to have an open mind to allow new thoughts and ideas to come in.
I promise you that there's more. That when I was at HQ and Greg's circle of fucking influence, there were more fucking homos and ethnic people and black people. I guarantee it, 100% than there is now. 100%.
Oh, HQ was super diverse when I went there.
100%. Yes. From day one when I was there was all that shit.
Santa Cruz, man. Come on.
Yeah. There were the gnarliest fucking liberals like me. Fucking rocking the Obama shirt, hope. They were fucking the gnarliest fucking Republicans. They were the craziest, most hardcore dykes. Dudes black as night. Dudes with huge cocks like me. Everyone was represented. And then I hate to float my own boat, but you can just go back to my whole entire body work, the CrossFit podcast, any videos I made, the journal. Just shut up. Just man. The rest of you guys shut the fuck up.
Yep. If everybody got highlighted on there. There was no There's no picking and choosing.
This if you really want to hear just double talk, you really should go listen to you should it's their most recent podcast. It's from Tommy and Sean. I stopped at 50 minutes because they switched to start talking about the open, which is probably their specialty, which is really probably where I should have started. But if you want to hear just double talk and nonsense and someone who's just pushing the CrossFit HQ narrative, you can go there. You can hear anything LaFranco says, and basically they make a point. It's not really a point, a big picture point, and I'll get into some of them, and then jump to like an accusation on our part. Like they'll say like, it's interesting that they think that the chairman of the board, and they say they don't ever say my name. They say, or the podcast name. It's interesting that they think that the chairman of the board position is a step down. It's actually a step up. It's actually a step up. Yeah, that's what you are when you're just angry and hateful and contemplative. Like they just make that. It's like, dude.
Yeah. Well,
you are so bad. You are so bad. Yeah. They should have started the show with "Holy fuck, Sevon has great intel."
I thought you were gonna say a big cock.
I sincerely that too, but only I was gonna make a mom joke, but it wouldn't be funny because it would be truthful. I sincerely thank Tommy and Sean for giving me content. I really do mean that. I'm glad I saw it. It's fun. It's gonna make this show more interesting, and I am gonna make some money off of it, and I'm gonna use that money to. Do you know I have $20,000 trapped in PayPal? I told you that, right? Okay. Has anyone applied? I applied for a driver's license.
I don't know what that means.
8 days ago. I had someone paid me $20,000 on PayPal and I can't get it out because I don't have a driver's license. So I applied for a new driver's license. It's been 8 days and it hasn't come from the state of California.
Sounds a lot like checks in the mail.
I wonder if Morning Chalk Up is in panic because Weinstein's on the outs. I wonder if Justin Berg is on the panic because that there's a push to bring Dave Castro back. I wonder what's going on over there.
Wait, there's a push to Dave Castro back?
Yeah, there is a big push. There's a big push. Pull, push. You use whatever words you want. Like if you're gonna say push and then be like, notice how Sevon uses the word push. He's such an angry white man. And switch it to pull. I'm good. There's got to be some panic there. There's got to be some panic there. It's the exact same thing what happened when Greg did the Floyd 19 comment. I've talked about this ad nauseum. We saw a faint, and then everyone in HQ reacted, and we got to see how they reacted. Now we're going to see the same thing here. We're going to see Roza. Roza has a circle there that he was guarding, a circle of people. That's a great question. Would Dave come back? Money. I don't know.
And just to clarify, this is actually espresso. I'm not doing shots. It's just easier to transport these little.
Is that paper?
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Okay.
We know that Eric Roza took 3-4 months off. I heard an executive yesterday say it was 4 months. I thought it was 3 months, but he took 3 or 4 months off to because of his depression. Not something a CEO does. Not something a CEO does. Who's 52 years old. Not what they do. So that's the first sign. The board's tripping already, right? Like you guys are like you Mr. Meme has 400,000 followers. He's happy as a fucking clam. But if you're a board guy who has $50 million in, or on the other end, you're an affiliate that has every last cent into their affiliate and they have 3 kids they're trying to feed, it's not cool. For those two ends of the spectrum, it's not cool. For the meme guy, yeah, he's fucking about to retire from as Bank of America's #1 teller. He's counted more money and handed it out than any other teller in the country. I mean, he's a fucking rock star. So of course he's saying, calm down, people.
Yeah, and they always keep referring to the community, but again, we're being specific to which parts of the community, and we're identifying where we're talking about it, and who we're talking about it, why we're talking about it, stuff like that. So
I suspect he has multiple investors who are not happy. I'm suspecting that now he lied to us because of just all the other lies. Maybe I'm wrong here, but I'm suspect that he hasn't been able to return on the investment, and because of that, he's getting a shit ton of pressure. He's not on pace. He fired the most iconic guy in the brand. First, he got rid of Pukey. Then he got rid of fucking Dave Castro. I mean, what a bold move to go from vomiting to fucking happiness as your metric.
How do you quantify that? That's like a qualitative thing. It's like not quantified, measurable, repeatable, observable.
When you start an argument on a false premise, everything after that is just complete bullshit. And Shawnee and Tommy are like, they say that Eric Roza stepped down. Eric Roza did not step down. That is a false premise. There's not a disease. The disease that you think is running rampant, Shawnee, a mask does not protect you from it, nor does the vaccine. But you believe that, and it's a false premise. And so you take all these other actions that involve hurting children, hurting old people, because you have the false premise that you start with. And it's a cascade of bad shit that happens and lies that you tell yourself. The same thing with this, buddy. You think that he stepped down, and then you spew for fucking 49 minutes. You and Thomas spew for 49 minutes about shit that's built on a false premise. It's maddening. It's almost like you brainwash yourself. Like, who cares if you hate me? Who cares if you hate Dave? Who cares if you hate Greg? Just tell the truth. It's so much more fun. But start by telling the truth to yourself.
They're great at announcing game stuff.
Great at it. Don't forget when Roza came to CrossFit HQ, he said that the investors, this was a long-term plan, and the investors were so patient with him. He reiterated that over and over and over. 1.5 years is not a long-term plan, especially if the company's doing so great. No one steps out without a fucking replacement. By the way, don't be fucking stupid if you don't think that there's a CEO right now, by the way. If you don't think that there's an acting CEO right now, you're fucking nuts. There is. Everyone knows who the leader is over at HQ right now. Everyone who needs to know.
Interesting.
Right? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Very right. People put a fucking lot of money into this fucking company. Some dudes bought this shit and give a fuck. Some people really fucking care. Like, this, they have this, they spun this thing that like I'm somehow against corporations, or somehow this thing can't be a corporation. I'm going to explain it to you in the most simple way possible. I think corporations are fucking awesome. Once again, they made some fucking illogical leaps that are just fucking, they're juvenile. That these guys should stay in the lane of commentating the games. You're eroding what little respect the community still has for you. And you're eroding it by talking about stuff that's out of your lane. Talk about it amongst yourselves. You guys think that I have this problem with corporations, but here's the problem. CrossFit was built on one really strong principle that can never be broken, or else it's not CrossFit anymore. That's tell the truth. A corporation cannot be built on that principle. That's not a dig at corporations. By corporations, I mean specifically ones that have investors, multiple investors. Their responsibility is to make money. That's not a fucking dig. I fucking love money. But if you have something and its number one goal is to tell the truth, you would be super duper. You would be, oh my goodness, Darren, you need to get your ass back. If your goal is, if you always have to tell the truth and then you can be bought, you can't tell the truth. It's the same hierarchy. I'll give you another parallel where this exists in humanity. In humanity, you have to breathe first. Then you have to eat, and then there's shelter and fucking. That's the 4 orders of like things you need. If anything gets in that hierarchy, it screws everything up. You're not really a human anymore. You're some bastardization of a human. What could get in there? Heroin. If heroin becomes more important to you than eating, it gets in between breathing and eating, you're screwed up. There are some things that possibly could get in here that, like, if you have kids, that's a weird one, because the kids can get in here in the hierarchy. Some really, really good pussy. God, I hope my mom's not watching. Can get in there and screw that up too. It's so funny. I saw the Mark Zuckerberg movie because we had Ben Mesrick on, and they started Facebook for women. And I just wish that was like the most honest thing in the entire movie.
For women?
I mean, because they want women. They just want women. Like that's like it's like that should be the takeaway from what was your takeaway from the movie? The dudes will do anything for girls. Close. Something specifically about girls. Make that a whole nother show. So it's not that I have a problem with corporations. You understand that? It's the fact that once this thing has investors, it cannot be what it was supposed to be. It cannot be. It's not me. It's not me hating Tommy or Sean. Stop bringing me into it, Shawnee. Although it's fun. It is fun. Well, I understand the temptation. I understand the temptation.
I think it's important to point out that this is kind of almost like a microcosm of what we see in the country a little bit, which is you have corporations that have their, financial obligations towards their investors, right? And their deal is to focus on growing profit. And sometimes as they grow profit, they start getting in bed with other people to continue to grow their profit, meaning government regulations or media. So that way they're looked at a good light. And then the media and the governments are all kind of doing it back because they're all just exploiting their self-interest. And so that's the biggest thing that we have to realize here is that that's why I said going earlier, like you have to question your motives. Like, why are they doing this? Who stands to benefit from this and why? And so without those things, without questioning those things, you won't really understand what's happening with everybody exploiting their own self-interest.
I like what Clive said. Clive, Susan and I talked about this quite a bit. This is kind of a fun topic to talk about. I don't think this is true. I do not. I have tons of evidence but that this isn't true, but fuck, this is some chess shit, right? I think a new CEO has been lined up for a while. I think Castro's firing could be just as likely the incoming CEO's demand as Roza's last wish. Or we were wording it like this, like, hey, they know they have to get rid of Dave for whatever reason, and so they're going to fire him, and then they know that's going to piss the community off, so then Roza's leaving anyway, so then they get rid of Roza and they kill two birds with one stone. It's fucking, that would be some crazy chess shit. But I'm telling you, man, tis not. Unless all my sources are fucked up, but my sources aren't Google. And I feel very confident that this thing is like shaking. There's no stop to this now. Do you know what I mean? Like this thing's wobbling. There's no this thing is wobbling. It's not like Roza, like Dave's fired. I think that the same thing with what Greg did, Floyd 19, that thing would have stopped eventually. It's so funny. Tommy and Sean say, oh my God. Oh, can you imagine if Greg would have just they use the word white knuckled. They love that shit. If Greg would have just white knuckled this and never sold the company, do you know where we would be now? Yeah, you motherfuckers would be fired. You guys would be nowhere in the ecosystem. That's where you'd be. I know why you guys don't want Greg here. I know why you guys don't want Dave here. I know. We all know. That's what makes you guys so biased. And I have my bias too. Fuck, I love Dave. Fuck, he taught me so much. Most of the people, even at HQ, hate him, still love him. They learn so much from him. They can separate the two. I want to tell you something else, speaking about affiliates. Probably 3 affiliates yesterday said, thank you so much for what you're doing. But what was even more impressive is how many people at HQ, especially from the training staff. And by the way, these 3 affiliates that thanked me were probably the 3 biggest affiliates that I've ever heard of in the ecosystem. And the trainers are like, wow, you're doing it. I said, I am. And then I thought maybe I should say we're doing it, me and Souza together. I was like, fuck.
No. Me and the other guy.
Me and the angry white dude are doing it. Could you just take what if I did that? What if I compromised with you, meme guy, and Souza's the angry white guy, and I'm the cool, happy white guy? Take one for the team, Souza.
All right. For you. You know what's interesting?
Do you want me to tell you why Susan and I are so happy, by the way? Because we're financially responsible. I don't mean financially independent. We're fucking financially responsible people. What does that mean? That means that we wear our shoes until there's fucking no way around not wearing them anymore. Or as a racist would say, we're all Jewed up.
Oh my God.
Would love to hear from Nicole Carroll. Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Man, that would be great. Hey, so that's another thing that Shawnee and Tommy do. They spend 48 minutes talking about how stupid people are who would want to go back to the old way, which no one ever said anything about going back to the old way. So they must be, they're so vague. They must be referencing bringing Dave back by going back to the old way. They'd spend 48 fucking minutes. I know, Jim, but I want to tell you something. The Victo shoes, I've been looking at a new pair now for over a year, and I haven't pulled the trigger on them yet because like my other ones still got a little, by the way, the soles of those wear out pretty fast and they get slippery. Be very careful. They get slippery. So they, for 48 minutes, they talk endlessly about not going back to the old way. And I have to assume they mean Dave, but they're too cowardice to say it. I don't know. That's my assessment. I don't know if it's because they're cowards or they forgot Dave's name. You choose the reason. But then at the end, they nominate Nicole and Chuck as the next CEO. I'm like, motherfucker, that's as old school as you get.
Right. They did a lot of that, kind of like disagreeing with themselves a little bit.
You listened to that too?
I might have.
Did it stimulate you? I rewound. I listened to it. I listened to every, like they would say shit and I would go back. You know how like you can go back 15 seconds?
Mm-hmm.
And I would just go back and be like, did they really say that? Oh, let me get my pencil. And I would run over to my computer and take my notes.
So basically we do it the exact opposite because I listened to it on like 2 times speed.
Oh.
But one thing that I want to address that we actually all agree on, and it's interesting that nobody's leaned into this more, is we keep referring to the board, the board, the board. But nobody knows who the board is, or their influence, or the amount of power and control. And then,
well, that's true. People know who the board is.
Like you know who the board is. I don't know who the board is.
Right? Maybe you don't.
Okay.
I do. I don't. That's interesting. I never thought of that either. I know who the board is.
I don't know who the board is, and I don't know if has it been publicly announced.
I don't know.
So then, like, why isn't it publicly announced? And I'll tell you just a super quick story.
I mean, Roza was bragging they had a Domino's pizza, like the owner of Domino's Pizza or some shit on it, and that he had fucking cars that could deliver pizzas to houses automatically, which I found fascinating. That the Domino's Pizza guy, like, yeah, it was fascinating. It was fascinating.
So when I first opened the gym, I did it with 2 partners, a husband and wife, and they created an awesome opportunity for me. But one time I was at a party for one of the members, and I was talking to this older gentleman, and someone came over and introduced me, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is Matt. He owns the gym." And I don't know if he had been drinking or was just bitter. And he goes, "Oh, you own it? I thought they owned it," pointing to the husband and wife that were my business partners at the time. And I go, "Yeah, we own it together." He goes, "What's your percentage?" I go, "Well, I'm 49 and they're 51 because they put up the money." And he goes, "Oh, you don't own shit."
Dude, what kind of fucking parties do you go to?
I literally was like, and the person who introduced us was like, Matt works really hard in the gym. And I was like, I bet he does. And I was like, I just did the Homer Simpson where he like fades away into the hedges. And I just kind of, but it always sat with me. And 2 years later, I owned 100%.
I own 100% of this podcast, just so you know. So you know, Susan.
Facts. That's facts.
Holy shit.
Yeah, literally.
Hey, it's one of those things, right? Like, you fucking asshole. Thank you.
100%. Right. Because I was, I was a cool guy. I owned a gym. I told everybody I owned a gym, and then realized that afterward, when he had held up the mirror and he's like, "Hey, look, no, you don't." It was kind of like, wow, he's right, because there's no, although I do own it legally, I can't do anything against what they say. They control all the power, and the difference, 1%.
Yeah. What is this name? Do you want me to give names of the board members? Is that what you're saying? There's a bunch of stuff
no, I mean, I didn't.
No, this person here, name Sevon, not the so-and-so guy.
Oh,
there's a bunch of stuff I know I just can't say. You have to know that. You have to know that. It's not like I know too much. I
protect the sources.
Always. Yeah, and there's just stuff I just don't want to say. It's mine. It's my story. I'm telling it the way I want to fucking say it. I want to tell you the truth. Yeah, I hear you. Darren, I'm fucking taking that picture. I'm making an NFT. I'm gonna charge Darren fucking $3 million to use that.
Darren, you could own that NFT.
I'd like to buy the podcast. Hey, for $6 more, it's yours. You're halfway there. I don't. Someone said to me one time in here in the comments.
Hold on, I just want to point this out. Kevin, you spelled truth wrong.
I'm giving you the dirt. I hear you. I'm giving you the dirt. I'm giving you dirt. I'm giving you dirt. I'm giving. Yes, thank you, Jeffrey. I'm giving you dirt. It's got to be like it's got to be chill. It's got to be just.
It's got to be timed right, correctly.
Yeah,
it's all about sequencing.
This show's got to be. Yeah, I have to milk it for 90 minutes. So it's because after 90 minutes, then the algorithm picks up my video better, and then I make more money off of this.
Is that true?
No, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
I was like, good job. You know, little research there.
I'm hearing that Dave's coming back to run the games. I am hearing that. I don't have a good source, but I have multiple sources. And they're strong and they believe it. They're not spreading it to me like rumors. It's not uncommon at all for boards to force a resignation of the CEO. And since he's an investor, it's not uncommon at all to then put him as chairman of the board, leave him there for 12 months and get rid of him. Not uncommon at all. First of all, I know that's what's happening. I have some insane sources on that. Insane. But on top of that, it's not uncommon. This isn't like, hey, go to Google and look up what chairman of the board means. Like, dudes have like $50 million invested in this fucking thing. No one's fucking around over there. I give a fuck what the guy's title is. It's the guy who owns the most.
Yeah, titles are weak. Unless you put leader in your bio.
Did I mention Matt O'Keefe is coming back as CEO? The Matt O'Keefe. Did you make it to that part where Sean says that?
Yeah. Well, I just thought it was funny because you had said that at the beginning, and then I was like, what, he is? And you were like, no. We could all be hopeful, though. And like, you know, we've talked about it multiple times. So it's interesting.
Nobody thinks so the premise that no one thinks he really stepped down. Sean, stop saying that. Sean, Shawnee, Tommy, you guys stop. I think that their suggestions for Chuck Carswell as CEO and Nicole Carroll are, I mean, they'd be great, but I you know, if I was them, I would either make Dave as CEO or I would contact the there was a guy who used to work there. What the fuck's his name? There was a dude who worked there who was a beast. He was the operations officer. Bruce Edwards. That guy has the talent to manage fucking super talent. He was the operations officer at West Marine. He was like the third employee over there. He stayed there until it became an $800 million company. He then switched over to CrossFit because he trained with Greg. He's a world-class athlete. He's old now. Maybe older than me. Fucking stud. He tamed us. We were fucking lions over there. And he tamed us, including Dave. He struggled with Dave, but he did it. Dave is an insane brand ambassador. He's all that CrossFit has left. If you don't see that, that's because you're fucking confused. I beg of you to fucking see that. They fucking, like, that was a major mistake. One of the dumbest things that in the history of CrossFit that's ever been done. Get rid of Dave Castro, SEAL Team 4, SEAL Team 8, SEAL Team 6, transfers over to Delta Force for some exchange. Yeah, I said it. Fucking running the games from his fucking computer in a fucking camper in Afghanistan. Not bullshit, not hyperbole, not verbosity. So cool. Truth. I'm telling you the fucking truth. You think he was stepped down? No, he was fucking forced out. He was told to leave. He cried on his way out. You can quote me on that. You dumbly, is that a word? You dumbly assume the chairman of the board is not necessarily a promotion. The fuck does that mean? I can't even understand my notes. You have to understand that all of that done was PR. It's all PR. It's always been all PR. I sat in a meeting, I've told you this before, with Eric Roza, and he says, I know there's not an inclusion problem at HQ. It's a perception problem. Like that, but that's not even what he's really saying. That's all they care about is perception. Tommy said this in the thing, and this sums up the entire podcast and listening to these guys and the LaFrancos and the racist memes guy, right? Who sees the world through skin color. Well, I proved that, right? I proved that. I have a screenshot of it. If anyone DM me, I'll send you the screenshot where he exposes race. And I don't care. I don't hate him because he's racist. Everyone's got their own demons. I don't hate someone because they're racist. I hate them if they say I can't go to work unless my kid takes an injection. Then I hate you a little bit. Punch in the face. Tommy says this. Roza is transitioning, and it's better and more appropriate. Rosa's transitioning, and it's better and more appropriate than what?
Yeah, exactly.
Then what? They're so scared the way they talk. They're so afraid. I want to make my gym more inclusive. What do you mean by inclusive? Open for everyone. What do you mean by that? Like, who's it not open for now? I don't know. I just would like it to be more welcoming. Well, specifically, who are you talking about? Like, what? Just say it.
What do you want for dinner?
I know you can't say it because it's like it's piled so deep under like this manipulative behavior. I know. I have fucking 3-year-olds. Yeah, Dick is awesome. Are you that far back in the podcast that you just heard that? Fucking Dick Mertens made a fucking his debut. That was nuts. I'm telling you, this show, buy stock now. This motherfucker gonna get big. And those of you who think this is a CrossFit show are out of your fucking mind. This was always part of the plan. That's what Tommy and Shawnee kept saying. Always part of the plan. You mean this wasn't like the Supreme Court job? He was going to stay here till he died? Dude, he did not want to be fucking CEO for a year and a half. He wanted to be CEO for fucking 10 years.
I think he said 50 years in his video to us.
They have no intel. They just spinning. They spinned for 50 fucking minutes.
It's funny that
it's not even good spin. Does buying a t-shirt count as stock? Yes.
Yes, it does. And thank you very much.
They have to hope that they're right. If you want me to pick an angle, Tommy and Shawnee have to hope that they're right because they're on the Justin train. What is the Justin train? The Justin train is what goes away if Dave comes back. Justin train might be turned into the Justin tricycle if Dave comes back. And Tommy and Sean have played their cards. All you have to do is listen to their podcast and be like, what is this? Like, there's all this abstraction. Who are they referencing? Here, I think it's Sevon. Here, I think it's Dave. Here, I think it's Greg. Here, I think it's Dave. I'm pretty sure that Sean used to walk around. I'm pretty sure Sean reported, or someone in Sean's camp reported Dave for not having his mask up over his nose for open training a couple years ago. Mask hole. I think that's the word. Mask hole. Is that official?
Mask hole. This can't be part of some plan, because when I mentioned business strategy and sequencing, I was told I was a conspiracy theorist.
Wait, say that again. What would make you a conspiracy theorist? Of what?
That if people sat down and actually strategized about a business and how they're going to sequence certain events and how they wanted things to play out, that's conspiracy theory. And this guy's crazy.
Like what Clive was saying?
Yeah.
That's not conspiracy theory. That's called having a brain that just can think about shit.
Yeah.
If I tie my shoes now, I might not trip later. Conspiracy theorist. You fucking nuts.
Let me make a recommendation here. This bad boy. Mastering the Art of Business Strategy, Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David.
Oh, he wrote that?
Another one. This is called Beyond Entrepreneurship, Turning Your Business into an Enduring Company. Both of these books, Jim Collins, by the way, was a professor at Stanford and the MBA, but was just given the position as a teacher because of his research in great companies that have lasted for 20 plus years. Both of those books talk extensively about, number one, values and vision, cementing those in. And then number two, your sequencing and your strategy and your actionable tactics in which the business performs and does all lead off the values and the vision of the company. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
When were you going to share those books with me?
You want to read this one?
I want to read both of them. I know, not actually. You're just supposed to just text me or to send me a picture and be like, dude, I'm reading this. It's awesome.
Oh, well, this one I've actually read this one twice already because you know how much of a big fan of Patrick Bet David I am. But I'll come drop him off at your house.
If Dave is back, it hurts Tommy. Tommy's bet does that, but does that hurt Buttery Bro coverage? I don't think so. Heber and Marsden are so like
they're in their own lane.
They're politically safe. Yeah. They're safe. I think. I mean, what do I know? You have to understand too, like those motherfuckers are just contributing. Johnny and Tommy, Sean, I don't know who, I got the fucking names all mixed up. Shawnee and Tommy say that the next leader should be forward facing and talk to the community. You mean like Roza did when he came on board and didn't know what GPP was? He fucking had to ask in a meeting in his first week, what's GPP? And he's the owner of CrossFit. General physical preparedness. That's like, he didn't know the value of the training team, of the L1 team. He would speak about the 4 pillars of CrossFit and not mention the training team. He loved the games and the games only. And that's why the games guys are chugging his cock so hard. It's not a dig. It's not a dig.
This reminded me of the time you like pretended to do the bong thing in your underneath your jaw cramped.
Oh, yeah. I'm never doing that again. Thank you. Because you guys don't know, because Shawnee and Tommy, because you guys don't know, you want to claim that we don't know. Another, like, you're like, well, how can they? No one can be saying the things that they're saying over there. Once again, you don't say our names. Who knows why? Maybe you can't pronounce my name and it's out of respect. I'll go there. But just because you don't know doesn't mean we don't know. What are you talking about? How do you make that leap? What are you fucking two? You guys embarrass yourself. I actually get a little embarrassed listening to you. I'm kind of happy that you guys stumble along with a sock in your mouth. But you're like, how could they possibly know? These people jump to conclusions. These, what do they call them? Hot pockets. These hot pocket guys, they just do, they do. No, that's you. Stop talking about yourself. You don't know. I know. I have resources.
Sources.
Peace and love. My wife just texted me, peace and love. Don't be mean. I want to apologize now if you felt like I was being mean. I think maybe I called you guys cowards. I really don't think you guys are cowards. I think you guys are just caught up in like political correctness and shit, and I just get excited. I don't think you guys are cowards. I don't think Tommy and Sean are cowards. I don't really think the Make Wads Great Guy Again is a fucking racist. I really don't. I just think they're just so confused on the mechanism that creates reality. So fucking confused. So I don't mean to be mean. How's that? Is that good, babe?
That was
nice. I kind of felt like I meant some of it.
That was nice. Thank you for the message, Haley.
Yeah. This thing can't be corporate, but not because I don't like corporations. Don't make that jump. If I could go back in time, if I was half as smart as I thought I would have fucking bought Pfizer or Moderna, whichever one went from $29 to $329. I have no issue doing that. None. Zero. I'm just, please don't conflate the facts. I'm just explaining to you that the whole foundation, the bedrock of what CrossFit was built on is that Greg was pursuing the truth at all costs and never to spend brand equity. A corporation that has responsibility to its investors, they have to spend brand equity. What does that mean? Greg didn't want to put his name on any product or be involved with anyone. He hated the Reebok deal. He didn't want to like go into Protein Power or any of that stuff because he knew when you do that and you put your name on something, you're spending your brand equity. He did not want to do that. Look at this. Look at this guy. You're insane if you think they'll bring Dave back to CrossFit. Roza isn't gone. He's just higher up. His influence still exists. It's just another puppet in as a CEO.
New puppet, same as the old puppet.
Scott, I've spoken. I have several people on the executive team, directors, people in the company all over the place that have told me quite different with very detailed stories. I'm wondering what your references? Is it Google? Did you look at Google? Did you know that this is a very, very typical move to take a CEO out who's an investor, put him in as chairman of the board, and then 12 months later remove him? Very common. This isn't Bill Gates, dude.
It's not Jeff Bezos, bro.
You're a good dude though, Scotty. I appreciate it. And to start off with, you're insane. I understand. Never mind. I'll leave you alone. Okay.
Not his fault.
Oh, no. And you know what? Maybe you are right. But I don't think you're going off of anything that you know. You're just going off of like some book you fucking read or something you looked up on Google. Like, I don't think you have any life experience. I don't think you have any life experience or intel that tells you otherwise. And I have both. Significant.
I think they're just going off the comment section of the regular media sources, if you will.
Tommy and Shawnee, just because you don't know what's going on doesn't mean no one else knows what's going on. Just like people say that, well, no one knows what the outcome is of COVID and like long COVID and this and that and this and that and this. Hey, just because you don't know doesn't mean that nobody doesn't know. Not against corporate. Not against it. I'm just telling you that this thing, when Greg made it, the essence of it is that it tells the truth and it can no longer do that. So it's no longer CrossFit.
Right.
You think I'm joking. You think I'm joking when I tell you that CrossFit is considered taking swimming out of the games because black people don't have access to pools. You think I'm joking. Someone's like, how dare you say that? How dare? I didn't say it. I'm not the founder of that sentence, of that thought. I'm sharing that with you and you're hating the fucking messenger. Some of you are going to really connect what I just said. You're going to be like, holy shit, I get what he's doing. Some of you are going to be like, what? That seems out of nowhere.
Don't shoot the messenger. Hey, I actually just got this text and I found out where they're going to be looking for the new CEO.
Oh, yeah, please share. Ah, yes. But if you want to apply for the job of CEO of CrossFit, you can go to barbelljobs.com. You got to sift through there, type in CrossFit HQ, Colorado. You got to like pick the location and then you'll see, and then feel free to fill out the application. I am also applying.
As am I. We're all throwing our hat in the ring.
Most of you probably have no chance. By the way, I do recommend that you go over and watch the podcast of the Khaleesi. I want to reiterate, and the memes guy and Craig Howard. Craig Howard says some fucking incredible shit there. And the Khaleesi's so good when LaFranco's not there. Yeah, she's so much better. Yeah, she's so much better.
Let her rock the show.
Yeah, let her rock the show. And you guys, I do think that I did think that the memes guy and Craig Howard, I think they're handsome gentlemen. But everyone needs to pull back from, like, look at how wide our cameras are. Like pull back a little. Like the hottest person in the world, like still isn't like, shouldn't be like.
Bring us in high def.
Hey guys, how you doing? Oh shit! Look at that wrinkle. Look at that wrinkle on my forehead. I mean, come on, dude.
Thank you, Eric.
Like, you just make me want to just like pick on you. You guys should stick to speaking about athletes. Have I said that?
Talking elite fitness.
They think I talked about happiness. Shawnee, I don't remember if it was Shawnee or Tommy, but one of them was like, it must be hard being, it's so funny. It's like 6th grade talk. It must be so hard being negative and resentful and angry. It's no way to live your life. Who are you guys talking about? Who were you guys talking about?
Hate in your heart.
But like I said at the beginning of the show, I realize that you're part of the new CrossFit and that you think happiness is a metric and not a byproduct of hard work. And so I am willing to allow you to pick a happiness auditor from the ranks of CrossFit HQ, or as you guys call it, the home office. And does that lower your testosterone when you say that, Tommy and Sean? Are you guys just so virulent as males that you can't say CrossFit HQ anymore? You say CrossFit home office and you're like, yeah, I'm not going to kill someone today. And it is, I know, it's something else. It is something else.
This is an interesting comment. It's like, Scott, back in like, fair enough, fellas, your insider intel trumps public knowledge. I still think Dave has 0% chance of going back, nor should he if he wants to hold on to his integrity. I don't know if him going back to doing the job that he created has anything to do with his integrity.
It's interesting. I see what he's saying. I see what Scott's saying. I thought the same thing, Scott, a little bit. Yeah. And I'm so fucking biased. You got to know I'm so fucking biased, Scott. But what if the fact that Roza is gone and if they were to just bring him back, I kind of see what you're saying. But if they bring him back and Roza is gone and they give him a corner office, I don't know, man.
I don't know if that's an integrity thing or like, is it like an ego pride thing?
We're going to bring you back. You have to get the vaccine so you can come in the office and we'll give you a corner office and Roza's gone. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Oh shit. Here we go. Matt O'Keefe has just announced that he is the CEO of CrossFit Inc. Wow, there it is. Thank you, Paul. I knew it.
Oh my God. CEO of CrossFit Inc.
Once you reach 100,000 subs, I will revel myself. You revel yourself all day anyway. What are you talking about? You're reveling yourself right now. You look at pictures of me and revel yourself. You guys think happiness can be a metric? Cool. Be a part of that CrossFit. That's good job on you. Good job.
How do you measure it? How do we observe it? How do we repeat it?
They're nuts. Tommy's advice. Tommy said, this is some brilliant advice from the Talking Elite Fitness podcast. Tommy said, Eric should hire a CEO that almost everybody likes, that's super successful. Tommy Johnson. Tommy Marquez. Tomas Marquez. Yeah, he should. He should, Tommy. That's dude. You're fucking. What book did you read that out of? It's a tough existence to hold hate and contempt in your heart for so long. Well, thank you. Who are they talking about? Why can't you guys say my name? John and Tommy said there's a misinformation vacuum where questions need to be answered. I don't agree with them, but I see what they're saying, and I agree with them. What? Basically, Tommy and Shawnee are saying that, hey, people like me can come on and speculate and say the most outlandish shit because no one is saying anything from HQ. But that's not true. I'm not saying outlandish shit. What I'm saying is like 99% true based on a shit ton of fucking intel. I'm not doing anything that's fucking off the reservation. You're just not used to hearing someone pursue the truth so hard, and it scares the shit out of you because you fucking need every crumb and ounce of this occupation. And you have to do everything to fit into this fucking real narrow paradigm of discussion and political correctness that I freak you the fuck out. But what you are saying is true in this way. I am fucking talking a lot and I'm saying a lot of shit and it's resonating with a shit ton of powerful people. What was that? Is that a ghost? I saw something slide off the shelf. And I can take all the air out of the room because no one from HQ is talking. And their shit they're saying is gibberish double talk. So when someone says, I'm not giving the dirt, you want to eat an orange with the peel on it, go over to Talking Elite Fitness. You want to eat an orange with the peel removed, come over to the Sevon podcast. That's the fucking difference. In HQ, it's worse. You have to eat the plastic bag that the banana's in and eat the plastic bag and the peel. There's just no substance there. I mean, it's just fucking layers of veneer bullshit. I'm not saying like it's so easy to do this, you guys, because there's like, you guys are fucking it up so bad. Okay, approaching 90 minutes. I can go play with my kids. So they are right. Johnny and Shawnee are right. There is a vacuum. Oh, this is gonna be good. Clive, you know how I like you? I don't even read your shit before I put it up. I just know.
It's not vetted.
Fucking hey, he's an angry redheaded man, this Clive. If Dave gets his job back, he must have hired a private investigator who has dug up a photo of Roza in blackface at a fraternity party. So I could do that. Oh, that's so 2020. Blackface is back. That means that you're cool now. Look at Trudeau. The fight, isn't that Canadian dude, the blackface gangster?
Yeah, that was.
Hey, but Clive, you are close. I'm going to tell you something. You're the warmest anyone's been. And you're not that warm, but you smell something. And you smell it correctly. This guy was pushed out because, and you make the list. He was pushed out because he fired Dave. Huge brand mistake. He's pushed out because he didn't meet the fucking requirements that he promised on turning the company around. He's pushed out because I'm making these things up. Well, why was he pushed out? But you were on to something. It's fascinating to me. In my notes here, I can't remember what I'm referencing, but I say at 32 minutes, Tommy and Johnny explain how CrossFit is fucked, even though they spend the first 32 minutes saying that people should think realistically, and they somehow turn that into hate and resentment. I don't know what I'm saying there, but they nominate Chuck and Nicole as CEO after saying they would never fucking go back. We should never go back to the old way. Dude, those are the fucking old way. And Nicole's there longer than fucking Dave. She's a dinosaur. She's prehistoric. She knows everything fucking Greg knows. She speaks as good as fucking anybody on the subject. And by the way, when you want someone forward facing, you better be very careful saying who you choose. Because you get someone like fucking Roza who's forward facing and talking, he just put his foot in his mouth. Like everything he said eroded at the soul of fucking CrossFit. At least if you're going to take on people like Monster Energy Drink and Noble and Thorn, like have someone who can speak about it in a way that doesn't make you jump on a sword. By that I mean Dave even acknowledged on his Instagram, hey, I'm 100% believe that eating added sugar is bad for you. These Monster Energy drinks that he said, and I don't drink Monster Energy drink, but they have a huge line of non-sugary drinks. Like, dude, that's fucking called honesty.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're hurting for money. Here's our new sponsor. We know how this kind of looks, but they are changing their products. There's less sugar in it. Stay away from sugar.
Oh, I thought you were saying we're hurting for money. Please throw $5 like Clive did in our comments. That's where I thought you were going.
Please donate $5 to the NFT.
Speaking of hate and contempt, how much do you guys hate Dave? I'm just curious. You can answer in the comments, Tommy and Shawnee. The video is so confused. They can't decide if they want to hate on me or do Weinstein's bidding. They're so fucking confused. The pieces all over the fucking place. Well, Sevon, your pieces are all over the place. Yeah, that's correct. I didn't say they weren't. You guys should stick to games talk. And even there, you guys are fucking try to do the politically correct thing. Laura Horvat seems to be challenged in this workout. Her handstand push-ups seem to have faded. No, it's man, this bitch ain't learned shit yet. It's been 3 fucking years, and the only thing stopping her from winning the CrossFit Games is handstand push-ups. Goofballs. Sorry, not goofballs. I will not tolerate the calm down thing. Every time you guys mention that, you and the Richies of the world and whoever, like the knuckleheads are like, calm down, everything's okay. I will not tolerate that. I will invoke the fucking affiliates, the 10,000 of them. I will invoke the moms and dads out there who've spent every cent that they have to fucking run a business because they believe in the fucking truth and they want to help people. That's why people open affiliates, the vast fucking majority of them. They want to fucking help people. Craig Howard talks about it when the Khaleesi's interviewing him. They want to fucking help people. And so when you have the fucking leadership at the top fucking shaking and rattling and not protecting the brand and not doing what's right, those people's lives are fucking in jeopardy, and those kids are going to eat shit that night at dinner, and they're going to get yelled at their parents because their parents are stressed out. Meanwhile, you can say from your Talking Elite Fitness podcast, calm down, everything's okay, don't do doomsday. You're conflating issues. That's not what we're fucking talking about here. You're making people's lives harder and you're fucking telling them to calm down. Just add some, just be cool, just be realistic. Do both. Hey guys, we're going to get through this, but this is the situation. Or do you not even see that? Do you not even care because you're just focused on making sure you get the next games contract to commentate?
I think it might be those self-interest again. And then also too, if there was that, they would kind of be on the same page as this podcast. And I don't know if they could stomach that. We got $5 from Bruce Wayne. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Bruce. I was just, I even put a note in here that, it's funny. I did think that the memes guy did look good, and Craig Howard did look good in that podcast. They were more attractive than LaFranco and Emily Beers, and I think that they're probably 20 years older.
And you're just saying aesthetically, right?
Yeah, just like if I had a picture, I'd rather have a picture of the memes guy on my wall in my living room than Emily Beers or LaFranco.
Don't you think it was interesting that Morning Chalk Up had him on?
Yeah, I don't wait.
Like Craig Howard made total sense to me, right? And
Sousa, every good podcast needs a Bank of America teller representing the people.
What's Bank of America teller? Is that true?
Dude, he works at I'm just taking just because he likes to brag that he's like a VP of some bank or something. He likes to brag about that shit. Like people send me screenshots of DMs they have with them all the time, and he likes to always flex too that I have 400,000 followers. That's why I always bring that up. He loves flexing. He loves telling I have corporate experience. I was at Bank of America and they put him in chairman of the board. And that means it's a step up in the position. I not only know that because someone at my teller the other day told me. And I just think it's goofball.
Usually that's quickly followed. But CrossFit's not really going the corporate path. At least I hope it doesn't in entirety. But you guys also don't understand the corporate structure of what's happening here. Right? It's kind of like
Eric Roza is not picking a CEO. He ain't picking shit. He'd pick his kids up from school in his free time.
That was a good one. See, the jokes don't have to be, it could still be nice.
So Tommy and Shawnee, just to reiterate, I don't have a problem with corporations. You're conflating the problem. I'm just saying that that corporations are ones that have, not privately owned corporations, but corporations like, I don't know, is that an oxymoron? Basically, anytime there's venture capital money, that something's gone public, they have a fiduciary duty to make money at any cost. That becomes the number one thing, just like your number one thing should be to breathe. And their agenda is to make money. That's not what CrossFit's agenda was before. That's why, so many people don't know what CrossFit is. It's really, really difficult to get your head wrapped around. If you guys would have spent more time listening to Greg instead of hiding in your little corner there at HQ, hating on him, you'd know.
The conversations that we've had in private, I just wish some of those ideas that you were able to deploy over those years, because, man, there were some good ones as far as media and different avenues that you guys could have taken that stuff.
I'm game. Wouldn't that be a trip if I worked at HQ? How did you get a job there? I just fucking hated on them for a year.
They're like, all right, screw it. We get it. Come on in. Or it'd be one of those, well, if you think you could do it, so well, do it. And it'd be like, yes, all right, let's go get it. Save the affiliates.
Oh, darn it. I might be done.
Well, you reached your 90 minutes, so.
Thank you. Shoot.
I'm going to stack papers.
I feel like I missed a page. Do you like it when I do that?
I do. Yeah, it's like official.
I haven't read. Roza was in over his head, was threatened by Dave. He was failing and cried for sympathy about being depressed. He was trying to deflect. Then he fired the guy that probably called him out. I think that there's some truth to that. He definitely was in over his head. The thing is, Dave really is. Greg Glassman gets a ton of fucking credit for managing Dave. A ton of credit for managing Dave. He is not easy to manage. It's the same thing, but that's not a bad thing. It's the same thing with you know how like they have weed whackers and they have different kinds. And like if you're like a fucking hardcore weed whacker, you get really strong forearms and your back strong, and you can get the fucking gas powered one after, but you really shouldn't start with that one. You should get the little fucking electric one that's plugged in. It's like that. He's just if you want to be a samurai, you probably don't start with a 4-foot sword that's sharp enough that if it touches you, it fucking cuts off a finger. Like you have to start, and he is like world-class talent. You have to fucking understand that. A lot of those SEALs are. There's so much fucking there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know how to wield it, and so you could throw it away thinking it's garbage.
Or just be afraid of it and not want to plug it in and turn it on.
Yeah. And he really, really, oh man, Jim, you fucking ruining my fucking story. No more gas weed whackers. Fine, whatever.
Not in your country of California.
Boom.
Well played, Jim.
So why haven't you had Dave on since he was fired? Hey, another great question. Ask yourself that. That's another great question. If Tommy and Shawnee knew how to ask more great questions, they would get to the truth.
The quality of your questions determine the quality of your life.
Oh, that's nice, Sousa. That is a great question. I don't care if it's serious or not, Mr. Handsome Mohawk bearded guy.
That is a handsome man.
Martin Luther King, 5240. You cannot be serious, but I'm telling you, it's oh, thank you. Someone just texted me, Shawnee. That's actually pretty good. Thank you.
My gosh.
I sit down last night. I'm like, how can I offend him the most? I'll call him Shawnee.
It's all that contempt and hate in your heart.
I was just writing so fast and taking so many notes that I was like, in my brain, I just started hearing it as like Shitami. I'm like, I can't make them one person. I would make him just Shawnee and Tommy. It just sounds better. Just like would slip out of my mouth faster. Why haven't I had Dave on the show? Why haven't I had Greg on the show? How do I know this stuff?
Because Matt,
what the fuck is going on? Why was Roza pushed out? Why did Roza step down? How about just go there? How about really dig into that? Why did Roza step down?
It's part of the plan, Sevon. It was part of the plan.
What plan? What plan are you talking about?
So he had the plan, and then he accelerated the plan.
Ah, okay.
And then we're not going back to old CrossFit people, but we hope Nicole and Chuck Carswell step up. It's not a corporation, but we don't understand corporate structure and how these things work. So you got to see, once we really...
Did he get a promotion? Is that why he's chairman of the board?
Yeah, he stepped down,
right,
but he was promoted.
Right.
So you got to see. He's not forward-facing and in charge, but he's all in charge.
You have to. I love this too. At one point, Shawnee said that my text messages are going nuts. I gotta stop looking at them. At one point, Shawnee said that Eric owned the company. I was just. It's masturbatory material. I can't tell you how excited it gets me when I hear that shit. I'm like, this is like, you know when someone throws a water balloon at you and you catch it? Yeah, it was like that. I was like, oh, fuck, you're fucked.
It's funny because everything...
Hey, that was good. That's like one of my best ones ever. I'm going to use that again.
It was funny because everything I had said there was actual things that were said. Caleb, you could just go ahead and clip that, and we could just sum that whole thing up. And
that was really good.
That was the whole media.
That was very, very good. That was that you nailed it. Okay, so I don't even remember what the title of this was. Why was Eric? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. But if you want deep insight, go over to Morning Chalk Up. God, they fucking referenced the Morning Chalk Up article so many times, but then wouldn't say what was so great about it. It was really great what LaFranco did over there. Is that what Weinstein told us to say?
I love that. An hour and 40. And why was Rosa fired? Okay, we don't know. And good night. Thank you.
I'll get off now. I will get off now. Okay. So in summation, I want to tell you, this guy was pushed out. The people over there are very happy. There's a lot of, they're anxious. They don't know exactly what their next move is going to be. You've heard my advice. I said it before Shawnee and Tommy did, that they should utilize Nicole in some role to bring her forefront. They got to get the media team. They got to get rid of all the DEI shit and anywhere where they're wasting money, and actually have to put that shit into action. They have to start making videos and content. That's the way out of this mess, to just push forward with a regular, steady stream of high quality media showing what that they're doing, what the affiliates are doing. Use Nicole to talk the smart talk about constantly very functional movement executed at high intensity, to talk about the diet, and to just and then bring Dave back if you can. Get Justin and the fuck out of there. Get Dave back to run the games. Or find some other fucking SEAL. Find someone like who we respect as being just a fucking savage, and that's it. And you're back on your feet. But Roza has been pushed out. He's been pushed out because he was fucking up, because it's really, really bad. People didn't like him. He wasn't leading. He was making bad decisions. And if you want to believe that he's depressed too, I mean, sure. What's on the line here is nothing. It has nothing to do with games athletes. Has nothing to do with like corporate or not corporate. It has to do with the fucking people who own these small businesses around the world. That's all that we should care about. Fuck the games athletes. All that matters is that these businesses survive. And it's for two reasons, because these businesses, people started them with all of their passion and all of their heart, and they did it for the right reason. The vast majority of them. I swear to you, it's true. And now they're in deep and they're doing fucking, I don't want to say it's God's work, but they're trying to fucking help people and heal people in a time when people are really, really sick, mentally, physically, emotionally. Mm-hmm. And so that this thing that's the part that has to fucking move forward in whatever way, in by any means possible. And then from there, the fruit from the trees will be the games. But if we fucking let the banana tree die, like the athletes are the bananas. And like, yeah, we love bananas, but like, fuck them if the tree's dying. The tree has to live. Okay. Yeah. Love you guys. Hope you had fun. I hope I entertained you. And I will keep you posted. And remember, if you've been naughty, if you said anything bad about me, 100